Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to Allah Kim, preaching His word in truth and in sincerity and in faith. It's the brother Yeshaya back with another lesson. And I wanted to bring out this article real quick speaking about the United States national debt, right? Because right now we're living in some beautiful times, right? We're seeing the collapse of our enemy, right? In Luke, the 10th chapter, the 18th verse, it says, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven, right? With Satan, the word Satan means adversary, and Esau, the so-called white man, he's the chief adversary of our people. And right now we're seeing his steep decline, right? We're witnessing his downfall. Let me get Ecclesiasticus real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Yeah, so we're living in very beautiful times, right? In the book of Matthew, the 16th chapter, Yahweh Shai said that many men have desired to see, you know, what the apostles saw, right? Basically speaking about them coming back in the reincarnation and being able to witness, the end, right? And that's the situation, that we're in, right? The followers of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? We get to see the downfall of our enemy, right? So let me read this article real quick, bring out a few precepts, Lord willing, you brothers and your sisters are edified. So it says U.S. national debt tops 35 children. I said 35 children, 35 trillion, so lucky for that. The U.S. national debt tops 35 trillion. It says the debt reached a new alarming milestone with 1 trillion in borrowing added this year alone. Yeah, so they accumulated $1 trillion worth of interest in 1 year alone. So it says the U.S. has reached yet another dubious milestone with its national debt surpassing the mark of 35 trillion. The U.S. House Budget Committee announced on Monday. Yeah, and the way America is going, right? It's going to be impossible to pay this money back, right? The term that I always hear the elder Yahweh use is that the economy is insolvent. The debt is insolvent, meaning they're not going to be able to pay this back, right? And they keep borrowing more and more money, right? They're sending billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine in weapons, right? Using taxpayer money. They're sending billions and billions of dollars worth of weapons to Israel, right? So the heavenly Salakia. Salakia for that. The Heavenly Father has them making reprobate like decisions that's going to lead to their downfall, right? And these people are already in a very seditious spirit. How much more so when this economy collapses? How much more so when the cost of food skyrockets, right? We already know and see that the cost of living and the cost of everything has gone up, but how much more so when it's impossible to afford food, it's impossible to afford your rent. Let me get this real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings, nor princes in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, we already see people are in their seditious spirit. Let me look this up real quick. So it says conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Yeah, so these people are already ready to rebel against their rulers, right, against the government. But how much more so once they can't afford food, right? Once they're starving like Marvin and they have no place to live. So this is the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Yeah, so we already see America is divided, in every aspect of life, right? Men versus women, Republicans versus Democrats, the different races, Esau versus Jacob, right? So America is through its division, it's going to be destroyed, right? And how much more so, how much greater is that division going to be, right? When there's famine, right? When there's no food, right? When there's no shelter, right? These people, this is going to be what's the term, the straw that broke the camel's back, right? The economy collapsing. We're seeing that it's headed towards that way. So it says the head of the committee, Rep. Jody Arrington, branded the development an alarming milestone, urging more fiscal and spending responsibility to fix the ballooning national debt growth. It says today we grieve yet another dubious milestone in the fiscal decline of the most powerful and prosperous nation in history. Arrington said in a statement, expressing hopes the Republican Party will be able to somehow alleviate the situation if Donald Trump wins the November election. Yeah, these people think Donald Trump can rebuild America, right? Because his whole slogan was "Make America Great Again," but he hasn't done anything to make America great again, right? It's still headed towards that steep decline, right? The term the apostles like to use is America is circling the drain. It says the U.S. national debt has skyrocketed in recent years under the leadership of President Joe Biden and his predecessor, President Trump, who had repeatedly pledged to reduce it during his 2016 campaign. It says when Trump left office, the debt had grown by 8.4 trillion to 27.7 trillion, with over a half of the borrowing related to COVID-related issues. The trend continued under Biden, with the incumbent president now smashing through the 35 trillion mark, while the borrowing rate somewhat slowed during the first half of Biden's tenure. Compared to the Trump era, they have now accelerated, with the U.S. adding a further 1 trillion to its debt this year. Yeah, they keep borrowing more and more, right? It says according to House Budget Committee's calculations, the debt now equates to 104,497 per person, 266,277 per household. Yeah, and the debt, right? The only way they're going to be able to pay it back is making the people pay it back is through their taxes, but the people don't barely have any money themselves, right? And you can only tax people so much until they get fed up, right? It says the debt now equates to 104,497 per person, 266,275 per household, and an eye-watering 483,899 per American child. Yeah, as soon as your kid is born, he's in debt, right? Because Esau is going to take it forcefully out of his pockets, right? I believe in Luke, the 17th chapter, it says, whom do men take tribute of, right? Of strangers or their own, right? And Peter told Yahushua of strangers. He said, then are the children free, right? It says, we are yet this day in our captivity. We're debt slaves. It says, over the... Salakia. Salakia for that. It says, over the past 12 months, the debt increase... Salakia. Increased by 2.35 trillion, with the rate of increasing equating to 74,000 in new debt per second. Yeah, so the debt is increasing more and more, right? When you owe money, there's interest on that money, right? It's not just gonna stay the same. And even if it did stay the same, these people are borrowing more and more money, sending money to the Ukraine, sending money to the Israelis, right? So we're seeing the collapse of the U.S. economy, right? And once the economy completely collapses, these people are going to lose their minds. So this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Let me see. Yeah, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. It says, shall not these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him, which means destruction, to him that increaseth that which is not his. Yeah, he's gone out throughout the four corners of the earth, taking what doesn't belong to him forcefully by the sword, right? Which is his his blessing. It says, how long? Yeah, how long is this gonna last? Right? You continuing stealing other people's resources, right? It says, how long into him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? When you go into that word for thick clay, yeah, the definition is heavy debts, right? So that ladeth himself with heavy debt, right? Because this is a consumerist nation, right? They don't produce anything, right? And you see they've created a system where they continue to borrow more and more money until until the well runs out, so to speak, right? Until they can't anymore, right? Until the economy completely implodes, right? It's because the U.S. has a their money is not backed by anything, right? So they can just print more and more money, right? And until the point the money isn't really worth anything. It's just nothing more than a piece of paper. So this is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 15. It says, he has swallowed down riches, right? He's stolen the riches of the whole entire world, and he shall vomit them up again. Yeah, you're going to spit it up, right? Because it doesn't really belong to you. Really, it belongs to us, right? The nation of Israel, right? In due time, the Heavenly Father is going to give it to us again. It says the kingdom is translated from one people to another people. It says he has swallowed down riches and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. Yeah, he's vomiting up the riches that he's stolen because it's not rightfully his. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse, let me see. Yeah, verse 16, Proverbs 22 and 16. It says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches. Yeah, oppress the earth, right? And mostly the Heavenly Father's people, right? We're the poor of this world, rich in faith, right? He's put us in slavery and captivity, right? Made no account of our labors, right? Stolen everything, anything we do, he just steals it and claims it as his own. It says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. Yeah, in the time of your judgment, right? You're not going to have any of the riches that you stole, right? Your money isn't gonna profit you in that time. So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Speaking about his philosophy, his doctrine, right? His wicked vibration that the earth is under. It says, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her. Pain, if so she may be healed. Yeah, that's what Donald Trump wants to do, right? He wants to make America great again. He wants to heal Babylon. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Yet all these nations are going to leave Babylon because they're going to see that it's no longer profitable, right? Because it's not going to be healed, right? It cannot be healed because it is the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh. The rebellious children representing the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And this is the point. It says, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked of my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Your people trust in Egypt, which is America, Babylon, right? The so-called white man. Right, instead of putting their trust and their faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai, they put their trust in the government, the system. But we're seeing that the system is collapsing. The economy is collapsing. It says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Yeah, so when the system goes down, our people aren't gonna know where to turn to. Right? They're gonna be calling on Jesus Christ, but Jesus ain't gonna be able to help them. Just like that, Jesus wasn't able to help that chick, right? What was her name? I forget her name. The chick that got shot out there in Illinois, right, by that Edomite cop, right? So, trusting in the system is going to lead to our people's destruction, right? I believe in Micah the 2nd chapter it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Yeah, our mind is in the kingdom and not on this wicked and corrupt system that's in a precipitous decline, right? So I'm gonna end it right there. Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahakodash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all I can preaching His word in truth and sincerity and the faith. Shalom.